We do have a quorum, which is required, as this is not a standing committee of the City Council. It is a board and made up of council members.
It's a sitting committee.
Sitting committee. Present are the chair, who's myself, Tony Cardenas. Also present is Janice Hahn, and also Bill Rosendahl. So we do have a quorum. This is a one-item meeting. If anybody would like to make public comment, you could fill out cards and bring them to the clerk here, and we will call you up in the order that they are received. At this time, if we could announce the item one.
Yes, item 1 is a donation agreement with the YMCA of Metropolitan Los Angeles North Valley Branch for development, construction, and maintenance of a parking lot and hiking trail at Ymca Canyon Park.
Okay. Thank you. This matter takes place in the 12th Council District, and it's my understanding that the council member, Greg Smith, was going to send his most able-bodied member on his staff to testify. Who would that be? Could you announce your name for the record?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, other council members. My name is John Lee from Councilmember Smith's office. Thank you very much for holding this meeting today. The item before you is an item that the council office, has been working with Rec and Parks and the YMCA for many years. We're very blessed in CD12 to have beautiful canyon parks that if you walk 5 minutes into, you forget you're in the city of Los Angeles. One of those parks.
I wouldn't want to forget you're in the city.
No. I just mean you're in the middle of the. You feel like you're in the woods here.
It's all good, right?
Yes. So YMCA is adjacent to the Limestone Canyon Park. The problem with this park is that it's so underutilized. It's such a beautiful park, and there's just no parking for it. So many years ago, we approached the YMCA to see if we could use some of their parking to access into the park. The YMCA agreed. They asked if they could then expand part of their parking, but to expand their parking, they would have to use it's a canyon, they would have to use some of the ridge that is really unusable to any user of the park. But as an agreement, we came up with this joint use agreement where we would allow people to use
One second.
Sure.
Hold on. We've now been joined by Councilmember Bernard Parks, and it's my understanding he has an announcement.
Yeah, I just have to, the city attorney said I had to be here to do this. I have to recuse myself because I'm on the board of the Metropolitan.
Okay. So Councilmember Parks was not present during the
You'd come all
testimony,
here to say
but
that.
we did.
The attorney said that I couldn't have staff say that.
We did halt testimony so that Bernard Parks could make his announcement.
Wow.
So therefore,
Okay.
Bernard Parks is now exiting the room, and we will wait till. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So
Lives that close.
we will allow him to exit the room so that no one could assume that he had any impact on this proceeding,
He is now-
other than his announcement of recusing
He has
himself.
left the building.
Okay, he has left the room.
So,
Mr. Lee, just be aware of the fact that each one of the members does have notes on the item, et cetera. So, continue.
okay. So we really wanted to be able to have access to the park, and the Y graciously agreed to allow us to use their parking for access into the park, and also to build us a trail, since it is on top of the canyon, that they would maintain for a few years, a trail that leads from the parking lot into the canyon. And so this is a perfect example of what we're sort of looking for in these days, of a public-private partnership between the City of Los Angeles and a private entity to really benefit the city and the people who live in it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We have some cards
I have
from...
one question.
Yes, go ahead.
Does Rec and Park Department have the staff and resources to maintain and operate this trail and parking lot?
And when would they resume those responsibilities? Or assume those responsibilities?
It's
Go
on.
ahead, it's on.
Okay, sorry. Joel Alvarez, Rec and Parks, Real Estate. Under the current agreement, the proposed agreement, the YMCA will maintain the parking lot for the life of the term of the agreement. And as far as
trail?
The trail, they have agreed to maintain it for the first 2 years of the agreement. And then beyond that, Rec and Parks would be submitting budget packages to maintain the trail. Hopefully by then we'll be in a better
So
fiscal
that's
situation.
2 budget years away.
Yes.
Okay.
what I also understand, the partnership is unique and very special here because of the parking lot, which will expand, which is part of our agreement here, at different hours so that the park people get it when they need it, the YMCA people get it when they need it. So it's really the kind of complement that we look forward to in partnerships.
Yes, and the portion that's going to be designated for the park itself will be for park purposes. There will be signage indicating so that the general public can come in and use the parking spaces to access the park. And the trail will lead from the parking lot down into the
Is there anybody from the YMCA here?
Yes, and she filled out a card.
Great. Well, I just love what we see happening here. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we have Jane Stanton, and then Dave Hassan, you can come up, and then after she's done.
Hi, I'm Jane Stanton, Director for the North Valley Family YMCA, which is a branch of the Metropolitan Los Angeles YMCA. And I just wanted to thank the committee for hearing our proposal. Thank you for the Park and Rec staff who worked really hard on making it come to today. And special thanks to John Lee. This is a real partnership, and it's something that I think we embrace in a community to strengthen a community. Thank you.
Also, Jane, I'd like to get some facts on the record. I mean, we have these in our notes just so the public understands the generosity and cooperation of you as a third party here, the North Valley YMCA. It's my understanding that it's about $1,000 shy of $500,000, the entire commitment to retrofit the parking lot and add the 75 spaces and create and maintain for 2 years a 475-foot, 6-foot wide long trail that is basically dedicated to the public, correct? Okay. So again, we thank you for your cooperation and your generosity. Hopefully, people will read this record and then realize that they can contribute too in ways like this as well throughout the city. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Dave?
I'm here to answer any questions.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Can I?
You have a question? Go ahead.
Again, it's great. It's amazing that the YMCA approached us 7 years ago with the proposal to donate, build, and maintain a parking lot and hiking trail. These are ones that always fascinate me. That it's a great offer. 7 years to get a donation. Mr. City Attorney, I know there must have been, I'm sure the majority of this was probably, I don't want to say held up, but what is the City Attorney's biggest concern about this? Have all your issues been addressed? Because I know this happens a lot, where we get offers of donations, and sometimes it seems to be more difficult than it should be. But what are your concerns with an agreement like this?
We don't have any concerns. We're pleased to assist in having the city receive this generous donation from the Y. The things that needed to be addressed, and they have been addressed certainly to our satisfaction, is that the use of this park property would be for a park purpose, and the parking is to benefit the park, to improve the park, and the same with the trail. The fact that there will be signage, because this is a location that's not visible from the front of the park. This would almost be, I think, what you might refer to as a side entrance to the park. The initial concern was that there be signage directing people to the parking lot so that it would be useful to the public, and I think all those not concerns, but all those issues have been addressed.
Okay.
And we're pleased to support.
Okay, great. It's a great agreement.
Thank you very much. Thank God we got this done in 7 years, which is almost the entirety of Councilmember Greg Smith's term so far.
I know.
And God knows what the next council member would do. So thank God we're getting it done before any changes in council members in the 12th district. Okay, we've already heard from one attorney. Thank you very much. And now we're going to hear from Benjamin Hanlon from Latham and Watkins. No comments? Wow. See, that's an attorney I like. Okay, cool. I like you too, but you were asked a direct question, so you had to answer. But he chose not to speak. But thank you very much, everyone, for filling out the cards. Is there any more questions from the committee?
Yeah, I
Excuse me,
just
from the
moved the
board?
motion to go forward with this project. It's great.
Moved by Member Rosendahl, seconded by Member Hahn. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Okay. Hearing no opposition, it's unanimously voted on by a majority of this board, and this item is approved. And are there any more items? No. Any more general comment cards? No general comment cards.
But, Mr. Chair, I'd like to take advantage of the moment here and say that I want to know more about this concession issue, and I'd like our committee to have a meeting on the 12th to hear it. I've read about it in the newspapers, but I officially don't know why the concessions were put on hold, why we're going to go on recess, and what's really going to happen. I'd like an informational meeting and maybe even an action meeting of this board, but I'd like it all put on the table. I'd like the city attorney to come and explain his concerns. I'd like others to explain their concerns. We just started the process. 2 meetings have been canceled, and I'm in the dark, to be honest.
Mr. Rosendahl, that's not agendized for today, but obviously you can make the request that we agendize it.
Yes.
But beyond that, and details or what have you, it was not agendized. We do have a full quorum, so the message has been heard by the chairman, myself. I appreciate your concerns, and all I can say is we will agendize it as soon as appropriate.
Is it possible to make a motion and call for a meeting for next week?
No.
since-
No, you can ask the chair to schedule it.
Yeah, you already
No
asked
mo-
me to.
No action.
You already
No
asked
action
me to
involved.
schedule it, and that's
I went on the record that-
that's as far as the Brown Act will allow us to go. And without prejudice, I've heard your concern, but to have a vote on that, it's not been agendized, so it would be violating the Brown Act. Not violating Tony Cardenas Act, but violating the Brown Act, okay?
Mark Brown Act.
No, not
Okay, so,
For the record, sir, the the approved item, lime kiln item will be returned to the Recreation and Parks Department. And if it needs council approval thereafter, Rec and Parks will thereupon transmit it to the full
Yes,
council.
they will, because it does.
Thank you.
okay, all right, thank you very much. Seeing no more business before this committee is now adjourned.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you for